So brings us to the question now, because you have so much experience in so many styles, right? What are some similarities between styles of internal martial arts that you've done, like say the Tai Chi Chuan and the Shin Chuan?
And I did that for a long time. So, you know, I was teaching a few different systems. I was teaching 3 or 4 systems at once. And I was like, how do I marry these? And part of it is because the Wudang Gong is a hybrid system in itself. So Wudang Gong's, the best way to explain Wudang Gong is that it's a form of foundation training. So its main aim is to develop the dragon body. So to bring the bear shoulders online, the eagle claw in the hands, the tiger voice, the snake waist, the chicken legs. Bringing all those things online, so it creates the dragon bodies. When you're like, one of the ideas with Shingi is that the form mind boxing or shape mind boxing means that your body's able to, through the mind, move into certain shapes. So you've got opening and closing of the chest, opening and closing of the midriff, rotation, sitting in the quad well, not losing the quad when you rotate a lot, connecting through to the foot. You know, good connection with the shoulder, the arms, not excessive tension where it doesn't need to be. Good control of the head position, so when you release power, you're not rattling your head and causing issues. So everything is based off the Sun Ti posture. So once you've got Sun Ti, then all the other 5 fists come off that posture. So it's really how to sit into your legs properly, how to sit into the kwa, how to manipulate the Ming Men, open and close of the chest, like slightly opening and closing, the use of the shoulders, so everything's aligned. So when you hit something, it stays hit. And your whole body can come out into a single point and in different lines of force. So you've got upwards, outwards forces, protecting inward forces, downward force, different angles, penetrating force. Then ultimately, once those forces are trained within Shingi, that as soon as you do one motion, there's at least 3 forces there. So I remember my teacher saying, whether you practice Tai Chi or Shingi or in any of the internal martial arts, as soon as the teacher puts their arm up, people will say, oh, what force is there? Well, the arm's up, so in Tai Chi, it's more like a pung. So that's an upward force or outward expanding force. But he would say, no, all the forces are there as soon as I put my arm up. And what it refers to is that the body has integrated all the forces. It depends where the person touches you, what force comes on. And then ultimately you want a force that's going to be drilling inwards or drilling back to get in, that sort of stuff too. So it's not just the arm that's doing that, it's the connection with the dantian, the legs, the whole body driving it. Even if it just looks like the arm, it's the whole body driving it. Yeah, so the ability to make the body make these shapes, that's the most important thing. So the dragon body the body has to be trained with different supplementary exercises, with form work, all the body method, you know, making this part, because this is when people first start, they're top heavy, there's too much tension in the upper part of the body, the ribs don't move too well here, arms don't connect with the spine, the waist doesn't move. It can't sit in the quad properly, and the body really just moves a lot from the knees and the ankles. So we want to rotate better through the hips, through the pelvis, through the lower back, make the ribs really connect, make the whole body link. As soon as the Ming Men's tucked under, it links the whole body just like an animal. So so when you move something, it's not just the arm doing this, but there's this sense of quite a lot of weight going either direction. So so all the internal practices, whether from what I've studied, so with the Chen Tai Chi, the Hunyuan Tai Chi, a little bit of Bagua, the internal Shaolin, and the Xingyi. Xingyi being my main base, and the Yang Mian being my main base, and the Hunyuan Tai Chi, my main bases. All of them have a basic root, a same root. So I could train multiple systems because I knew what the roots were. And that was a very specific information from my teacher. The roots of Kung Fu is in the leg training and ultimately developing the dragon body. And that's a lot of effort, a lot of things to do, but it's quite simple to say it that way. So I'd train the leg training, I'd train the Sun Ti, I'd train different Jumdrong postures to make sure I had that sense of sung, that relax, that the spine could move really well. So I'd have maybe about 4 practices that were all foundation practices. So my teacher would always say, you know, any teacher will love teaching you, Chris, because you have a foundation already. It's more fun. You've got a foundation, so they can teach you more things faster. It's fun for the teacher. So that was the whole idea with my teacher's training, was train the foundation, train body method, and I would train other systems because I was interested, but also I wanted to practice some applications. I want to practice throws and joint locks and just some step sparring and that sort of stuff. My teacher wasn't that interested in that. And it's because his focus is more on health. You know, if you get injured in martial arts, it's hard to work the next day and that sort of stuff. I've broken my nose. I've nearly broke my fibula and tendon injuries and neck injuries and all sorts of stuff. So it's I can see his wisdom there. But at the same time, his focus was always body method, foundation. And now as I get older, I'm like, I really appreciate that he did that and not deviated too much and focused on stuff that would take you broad in your understanding. His focus was always, I want to take you deep. Even if you want to go broad, I'm going to take you deep. So that was that. So the roots of it. That's how I could have a lot of similarity and have a lot of spillover into other systems as well.